Hello, let us look at second set of review questions for exam number 31. Let us get started here. Which statement is false? So as soon as you look at this one, we get to see the slope has to be equal to -2. And y-intercept is -5. Because this is coming from y equals mx plus b format. So then we realize that first one is correct. The slope is -2. Is it parallel to equation 2x plus 5? In fact, that will not be correct. So therefore, second one is our answer. The fact that two lines are parallel, that means they have to have the same slope. Here, slope is equal to 2. Our slope was -2. So therefore, they will not be parallel. Going back to earlier one, yes, it is y-intercept of -5. And perpendicular, as you know, that means slopes has to be negative reciprocal. So starting from -2, negation of the negative becomes positive. Reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. So yes, it matches here. So it is also correct. Only thing that's not correct is choice 2. Let us look at number 22 here. And we want to find out the value of y when midpoint is this. Then we will be using the midpoint formula. Since only value which we are concerned about is y, even the midpoint formula would have been x sub 2 or x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2, but we wouldn't need midpoint for x because we already have that. We'll be just using the midpoint for y values. Then our equation would have been 5 plus y, those are two y values, divided by 2 must be equal to y value of the midpoint, which is -2. Then we can always assume over 1, and when we cross multiply them, we get to realize 5 plus y must be equal to -4. So subtracting 5 from both sides, we get to realize that y must be equal to -9. Choice 4 becomes our answer. Alright, let's look at number 23. Which equation represents a line that passes through? So that means it has to be satisfying this point and parallel to this given line. The fact that it has to be parallel, that means slopes has to be equal. By subtracting 3x, we get to realize that this one looks like y equals -3x plus 5. Then here we get to realize that slope is equal to -3. Then using that, our new line has to be y equals -3x plus b. How would you figure out what the value of b would have been? Yes, we could use the point 0, 1 here, so we end up getting 1 is the y value, 1 equals -3 times 0 plus b. Then here we get to realize that that portion becomes 0, so b is equal to 1. Then our new equation is y equals -3x plus 1. Now, do we have any expression or equation that is equal to this one? Yes, there is. Choice 2 becomes our answer. Alright, let's look at number 24. We're looking for something that's perpendicular here. Perpendicular, that means we need to look at the slope and get the negative reciprocal of that. Negation of negative becomes positive. Reciprocal of 3 becomes 1/3. So our new slope has to be 1/3, which could only be choice 3. Alright, let's look at number 25. Once again, we are looking for a line that passes through 0, 3, okay, and perpendicular to this one. The fact that it has to be perpendicular to 2, since it's positive, negation of positive is negative. Reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. So we are looking for something that has slope of negative 1/2. And that seems to be choice 3. Because that was the only choice, I guess we didn't even have to worry about this one in this case. The point. Now, number 26. If these are the points, endpoints of the diameter, find the length of the diameter. How would you do it? You see, the length in this case implies the distance. So we're going to use the distance formula. X of 2 minus x of 1 square plus y of 2 minus y of 1 square. Basically then, our distance would have been here 6 minus 3 plus 5 minus 1 square. Here we end up getting 3 squared by 6 minus 3. 5 minus 1 becomes 4, so we get 4 squared. Then we end up getting 9 plus 16. Then we know that this one is equal to square root of 25. What is square root of 25? Yeah, that's right. It's in fact equal to 5. So our answer will be choice 1, 5. Number 27. Line that's parallel to this one, then it has to have a same slope. That's what it means by having two lines being parallel. They have to have a same slope. Therefore, choice 3 becomes our answer. Number 28. Perpendicular, that means it has to be negative reciprocal. So slope of the first one is a positive 3/5, then it should be negative in the reciprocal of that, which is 5/3. So choice 2 becomes our answer. Number 29. M is the midpoint. What is the coordinate of B? Since I don't know what B is, let me assume that that is x comma y. Notice that they gave us two endpoints, which is this one, point A, and point B, which we assume that to be x comma y. Then in that case, our midpoint was negative 1 comma 0. Then using the midpoint formula, you will realize that 2 plus x over 2 comma 3 plus y over 2. That should correspond to our midpoint. Then let's look at one at a time. Here 2, so we get 2 plus x over 2 is equal to negative 1. Then of course we can cross multiply them. Here what do we get? 2 plus x must be equal to negative 2. Then by subtracting 2 from both sides, we get to realize x must be equal to negative 4. Alright, then we have two possibilities. Let's go for the y values. Then this y value has to correspond to 0 here. Then I can write it as 3 plus y over 2 is equal to 0. Of course, some of you may be able to realize this one intuitively right away, what the value of y should be, but we'll just continue anyway. Putting it over 1, cross multiply, we get 3 plus y is equal to 0. Then y must be equal to negative 3. So we are looking for negative 4, negative 3, which is choice 3 becomes our answer. That must be the point value of B. Alright, let us look at the next question. So here we have, I'm looking for a line that's perpendicular to this one. Then how will I know? Since the slope here is equal to 1, then slope of the line that's perpendicular to that would have been negation of reciprocal of 1 is in fact 1. So we're looking for something that has slope of negative 1, which is choice 4. Number 31. And A is this one. So this is similar to the previous question. since I don't know the point value for b, I'm going to assume that b must be coming from x comma y. And two endpoints that we have is this b value and then a right over here, which results in 3 comma 3. Then let us try to do this one together. So here we get negative 1 plus x over 2 comma 5 plus y over 2 must correspond to 3 comma 3. Then here we get negative 1 plus x over 2 must be equal to 3. Then obviously we complete over 1 and cross multiply them. Then we get negative 1 plus x is equal to 6. Now what do you realize about x? That's right, by adding 1, x must be equal to 7. And in fact, before even I do y value, only possible answer is choice 3. So I'm just going to get this one. And please try to match the y value with 3. Then you will realize that the y value that which we are looking for should be equal to 1 in the same manner. Alright, now which equation represents a line that's perpendicular? So it has to be perpendicular to this one. That means let us try to divide everything by negative 2 so that we could have y by itself. You should notice the slope here is not 3. We have to leave the y by itself. In that case, then the coefficient, meaning the number in front of x, would have been equal to the slope. So by dividing whole thing by negative 2, then we get y equals negative 3 over 2x and minus 7 over 2 would have been our new equation. So you can see that here our slope would have been negative 3 over 2. What would be our new slope? Negation of negative becomes positive. Reciprocal of that becomes 2/3. So I'm looking for an equation that has 2/3 as their slope. And it seems to be choice 3 is our answer. Number 33. Now, so let us try to look at it. The slope here is equal to 1/3. What if I divide whole thing by 6? Then you will realize that y is equal to 2 over 6x plus 1. But what is 2 over 6? That's right, the same thing as 1/3. So since they have the same slope, what would you realize? They must be parallel. And furthermore, we realize that the y-intercepts are not the same, so we know that those two lines are not overlapping, but in fact those have distinct y-intercepts, so therefore these are two lines that are parallel. Alright, let's look at the next question. Number 34. Find an equation that passes through this point and then parallel. That means we gotta have same slope. So let's look at it. In order for us to find the slope, let us try to turn this one into y equals format. Then we end up getting y equals negative 2x plus 3. Then slope is negative 2, so we're going to use that slope. When you look at it, everything is point slope form, which is y minus y sub 1, which is equal to slope, times x minus x sub 1. Putting negative 2 in place of m, what do we end up getting? Y minus y sub 1 is y value of the point which we are looking at, so we get equals negative 2 times x is equal to x minus 5 would have been the answer. And that seems to be choice 2. And that is our answer. Let us look at number 35. Similarly, we are looking for parallel. That means we need to find the slope here first. So I'm going to subtract 2x. Then we get negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 11. And then when we divide whole thing by 3, a negative 3, we get to realize that we have y equals, here, 2 over 3x minus 11 over 3. And what is our slope? Slope is what? 2 over 3. Then, but we have to use that point, so therefore we end up getting y minus negative 5, which is equal to 2 over 3, times x minus 6 becomes our answer. And which one of them is same as this? That's right, choice 4 would have been our answer.